Occurred, December 13, 1998, 2310 Location, Indianapolis, Indiana. Shape, fireball. Duration, 4 seconds. I saw a green-white fireball moving west-southwest. It looked like, size and shape, the Hale-Bopp comet, but moving much faster. December 13, 93 at APROX. Time 23:10 hours. I was standing in front of 3655 Boulevard Place facing west when I saw a white-green flared light moving rapidly southwest out of my field of view. I listened for impact sound. There was none. Unlike other shooting stars I've seen, the flare was wider and had a green hue to it. Its overall shape was like that of the Hale-Bopp comet.
Occurred, December 22, 1998, 2005 Location, Indianapolis, Indiana. Shape, circle. Duration, 0.5 seconds. APPX, 1/4 mile east of SR 135, 8 miles south of Indianapolis. A green ball. APPX. The size of 1/16 of a thumbnail at arm's distance, traveling at very high rate of speed in relative vertical direction and a relative bearing of upon leaving driveway. I witnessed a green fireball that was on a vertical trajectory to the Earth's surface on a line that could be drawn between Indianapolis and Evansville, Indiana at 8:05 on Tuesday evening, the 22nd of December, 1998. It was only visible for APPX. 1/2 second. If it was white, I would have called it a shooting star, but the bright green color bumped it out of the realm of common shooting star. Local weather was a scattered layer of cloud. APPX. 3000 temperature 12 to 15 F.
Occurred, the 4th of September 1999, 8:40 Location, Indianapolis, Indiana. Shape, cylinder. Duration, 5 minutes. I saw a smoky gray cylinder with blue vertical stripes dividing the cylinder into thirds. I have no idea of the altitude, since I don't know the actual size, but when I held my fist at arm's length, there was still a full inch showing on both sides of my hand. The object traveled slowly from west to east directly over my home. At 8:40 I was leaving home for work as a federal security officer. I looked into the sky to check out the contrails. There were absolutely no clouds in the sky, and only a few contrails. Just below the contrails I noted a smoky gray cylinder floating through the sky from west to east. It appeared to be about the same size as a 747 would appear at about 5,000 feet. It proceeded to fly directly over my home. I noted also that it was divided into thirds by blue vertical lines. As it went behind a tree in the yard, there was a flash of some type of energy in the middle third of the cylinder. I then stepped to the other side of the tree to try to pick it up as it came out the other side, but it never came out. The size of this object, the object protruded about an inch when compared to my closed fist held at arm's length. There was no tail or wings and no noise of any kind. There was also no wind that might have moved any noise away from me. I tried to convince myself that this was just a jetliner, but I watch jets in the sky frequently and have never seen anything like this before. I tried to blow it off, but the next night objects of similar description were reported by Mr. Davenport on Coast to Coast. I wish someone else had seen it and reported. But according to the data on your site, they have not. There was something very strange. The image almost seemed to be computer animation, and the flash of energy in the middle section looked just like a cartoon drawing of an explosion.
Occurred, September 21, 1999, 1845 Location, Indianapolis, Indiana. Shape, chevron. Duration, 5 to 10 seconds. I observed a large boomerang-shaped object and a smaller object that I am sure was associated with the first. The event was at right about sunset on September 21, 99. On Tuesday evening, September 21, 99, at about 6:45 p.m., I was walking through the Country Club apartment complex on the south side of Indianapolis near S. Madison Avenue and E. Troy Avenue. I was facing west just at sunset when I observed what I at first thought was a hawk flying in the west-southwestern sky. As it moved, It soon became apparent that it was actually a large chevron shape. The object pivoted on its left wing and leveled off it, then either shot off faster than my eyes could follow it or it became invisible. I would estimate the size of the craft at between 100 to 150 feet across at about a mile distance, at an altitude of approximately 2,000 to 3,000 feet. It appeared to be a solid dark gray or black color. Just as soon as the craft disappeared from my sight, a second object shot just below the point where I had seen the first. It moved so quickly that all I could perceive was a solid black streak. It reminded me of what a hockey puck might look like after being hit as seen at the level of the ice. I couldn't detect any sound or unusual lighting.
Occurred, October 19, 1999 1920 Location, Indianapolis, Southeast, in shape, light duration, 5 seconds characteristics. The object left a trail while going on our nightly walk. My wife and I saw a bright object, as bright as moon, streak across the southeastern sky. It seemed real close to the surface of the earth. It left a trail behind it, and it was moving very fast. As it streaked across the sky, it seemed to be coming slightly down towards the earth. It burnt out while it was still in our view. I have seen shooting stars and meteors before, but this was not like anything I have seen before. Space junk? I came in the house and called the National Weather Office and reported the sighting. They said they would make a notation of event, and thanked me for calling. While going on our nightly walk, my wife and I saw a bright object streak across the southern sky. It was moving very fast, and had a slight tail behind it. It was moving at a slight downward angle towards Earth, and seemed to burn out or fade away. I have seen shooting stars and meteors before, but this was very close and as bright as the moon, unlike anything I have seen. When we got back home, I called the National Weather Service to report it. They said they would make notation of my report, and thanked me for call NG. The main reason I am filing this report is because it was so close and so bright, I thought it deserved to be documented.
Occurred, November 16, 1999 1905 Location, Indianapolis, Indiana Shape, light duration, 6 or 7 seconds 4 green lights coming from the northeast sky downward at about a 45-degree angle. Lights seemed perfectly spaced and moved at the same rate of speed. At approximately 7:05 p.m. on Tuesday, November 16, 1999, I was walking northeast from the building where I work, on the southeast side of Indianapolis, to my car in the parking lot for my lunch hour. I was watching the sky when I noticed 4 bright green lights coming from the northeast moving downward at an approximately 45-degree angle. It was such an unusual sight that I caught my breath and stopped walking to watch. The front light seemed larger, maybe about the size of Venus. The trailing 3 lights were slightly smaller. All were very bright neon green. They seemed to be perfectly spaced apart and were all moving at the same rate of speed. The rate of speed seemed slow for a shooting star. I saw them clearly for maybe 2 or 3 seconds, then trees partially blocked my vision. I walked forward keeping them in sight until they disappeared below the horizon. The total length of the sighting was perhaps 6 or 7 seconds.
Occurred, November 16, 1999 1910 Location, Indianapolis, Indiana Shape, fireball duration, 10 seconds characteristics. The object left a trail. The object changed color. The object made a sound. I was walking the dog about 7:10 p.m. when I saw a vanilla white fireball moving west to east past the intersection of South Keystone Avenue and East National Avenue. I was walking the dog at about 7:10 p.m. when I noticed a vanilla white fireball right above me traveling from west to east near the intersection of South Keystone Avenue and East National Avenue. I would guess that it was only about 1,000 feet above my head and traveling at around 100 miles per hour or more. It changed colors as it passed from vanilla white to a sky blue. It made a slight whistling sound. It continued to travel, didn't fall to the ground. It was already dark here, so the color change was clearly visible. I have never seen anything like it in my life.
Occurred, March 14, 2022 30 Location, Indianapolis, Indiana Shape, cylinder duration, 3 minutes. Characteristics. There was an aura or haze around the object. There were aircraft in the vicinity or aircraft chasing the object. I am a security officer with a chemical plant. While making a round, I noticed a glowing object hovering just above some high-tension lines. I watched the object start to slowly move to the south from my position and made out an elongated cylinder softly glowing, apparently from the inside. I called to a fellow employee who also saw the same thing. Our security truck was parked almost directly under the object, and it was a little larger than the S-15 GMC. The object was visible for 3 minutes. It flew south making no sound until it vanished from sight.